Nobody saw this coming. In the middle of one of the tensest controversies to hit the WNBA this year, Clark did something almost no one expected. She stood up for a player she's had real friction with on the court. Here's the backdrop. Days ago, a hard, physical play involving Alyssa exploded across social media. Clips spread fast, opinions split instantly, and within hours the conversation turned ugly. Thomas wasn't just facing basketball criticism anymore. She was reportedly receiving direct threats online, serious enough that people close to the situation say they were brought to the attention of league security. The league split into camps almost immediately. Some fans said physical play has always been part of the sport. Others were furious. And a small, loud corner of the internet crossed a line that had nothing to do with basketball at all. Normally, this is exactly the kind of moment a superstar avoids, especially one with Clark's visibility. Staying quiet protects you from backlash on every side. But Clark didn't play it safe. Asked directly about the incident, she didn't dodge the question. She made clear that threatening someone's safety is never acceptable, no matter what happens during a game, and that fans need to draw a hard line between criticizing a play and threatening a person's life. What makes this stand out even more is who she was defending. Clark and Thomas aren't teammates. They've clashed on the floor before, and their history hasn't always been friendly. So this wasn't Clark protecting an ally. This was Clark taking a stand on principle for someone she's actually had real tension with. That's exactly why the moment traveled as fast as it did. The reaction online split in two directions just as fast. One side praised Clark for using her massive platform to draw a clean line, that criticizing physical play is fair game, but threatening someone's life is not. Several players around the league, including some who have butted heads with Clark before, reportedly voiced appreciation, noting that a statement like this carries more weight coming from someone with her reach. The other side wasn't as forgiving. Some fans accused Clark of defending a play they believed was dangerous or deliberate. A smaller group even claimed her comments amounted to excusing rough basketball. Her supporters pushed back hard on that read, pointing out she never once weighed in on whether the play itself was clean or dirty, only that the threats that followed were unacceptable. If you're new here, this is exactly the kind of story we break down every day, the moments that go beyond box scores and actually shape the league. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update, because this story is far from finished. Behind the scenes, sources close to the league say Clark's comments have added real pressure on the WNBA to formally address both the incident and the threats tied to it, something the league has reportedly been slow to do publicly. Multiple players have echoed her message since, pointing out that online harassment has become a recurring problem in women's basketball, one that rarely gets addressed with the urgency it deserves. And there's a quieter part of this story too. Thomas reportedly reached out privately to thank Clark for speaking up. According to people familiar with both players, their relationship, at least for now, seems to have shifted from rivalry toward mutual respect, born out of a moment neither of them planned on sharing. Analysts across major sports networks spent real airtime on this, several calling it a rare case of a top athlete using her platform for something bigger than her own storyline. The kind of moment that can actually push a league toward change instead of just filling a news cycle. Here's the bigger picture. This isn't an isolated incident. Multiple players across the league have reported facing online threats over the past couple of seasons, a trend that's grown right alongside the WNBA's explosive rise in popularity. More eyes on the league has also meant more exposure to a small, dangerous slice of the internet willing to cross lines that have nothing to do with sports. League insiders say cases like this are typically handled quietly to avoid giving more oxygen to the accounts making the threats. But critics argue that quiet handling has let the problem grow without real public accountability. Advocacy voices around the league have reportedly pushed for a more transparent policy for months, and Clark's comments may have just forced that conversation into the open in a way official statements never quite managed to. So where does this go from here? A few realistic paths. The league could issue a clear public statement and lay out real steps to protect players online. Or it could handle things quietly, letting the story fade until the next incident forces the same conversation all over again. Or Clark's comments could spark something bigger, players collectively demanding a real policy, turning this from one player's issue into a league-wide stand. Whatever happens, Clark's already shown she's willing to use her platform for something bigger than her own narrative, even to defend someone she's clashed with. And given her own history facing online hostility since entering the league, this clearly wasn't theoretical for her. It was personal. That's where things stand for now. Drop a comment below. Do you think Clark did the right thing, or should she have stayed out of it? And make sure you're subscribed to WNBA Updates with notifications on, because if the league responds or more players speak out, we'll bring you the update the moment it happens.